Hey everyone, today I'm joined with Alexander from NucleusVR. I've known Alexander for 4 or 5 years now, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Right from the beginning.
Yeah, so Alexander's been working with some of our earliest prototypes and using it in engineering tasks and visualization and collaboration tools, like going way back.
Yeah, so we've been building this tool for making digital twins from CAD models. So basically we started with CastAR in 2014. So we're very lucky to get one of the early dev kits.
And so you were actually working with clients with these dev kits that were not even production.
Oh yeah, I mean we did like tons of trade shows and stuff and demos, and like everybody was asking when do we get them, and said, well, soon. And yeah, so we sort of had this cool demo where we had like mobile VR headsets and the Oculus, and we had like the little avatars of these guys running around in the factory, and
just right there on the table.
Oh yeah. Oh. And like really scaled down, so you could see like all the detail of these factories and like oil platforms and this kind of things with a lot of detail, and it was kind of really magic. And I mean, even us, we were like the first to be surprised when you actually got this working. It was like just crazy, like a scaled down model of the factory at a ridiculously high level of detail. You could really put your face in it and see like a model railway kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, neat. Yeah. So now you're working with the European Space Agency. Like,
yep.
You have a video you can show us about that?
Yep. So we have this video that actually enabled us to win an innovation contract with the European Space Agency. So it's not used yet in space, but we're kind of working towards it, I could say. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so basically this is our tool, which is used for helping astronauts do the maintenance on the ISS, basically. So you have to know, like, the ISS is one of the most complex machines ever built and up in space, which makes it very complicated. And basically you have like 4 or 5 astronauts on board who have to fix this thing. So for the moment they rely on like what do you call them, like files, procedure files and stuff like that they get basically via let's say via email or that kind of system. And then they also have like a radio, so it's fairly complex for them to do these tasks. So with our system, basically they can hook up to the digital twin of the ISS. So what you can see here is what's seen through the VR headset. So basically you see the 3D model of the ISS, and what you can see here in red are some annotations, so some instructions for the astronauts how to fix it. So with our tool, basically you can put this thing together in about 5 minutes. You kind of drag and drop these objects into the scene, add notes, so you can add PDFs, videos, all that kind of thing.
They must be super excited about this because it's a big leap forward from just using text to describe everything.
Yeah, I mean it's I'd say I could say higher bandwidth communication than just text or radio. Like you put the information in the right place and you just kind of look at it, and here you go. So anyway, so what you can see is a very basic demo here. So actually the astronaut will be wearing a HoloLens, so what he sees straight through what the environment, and he's being helped by what you can see me in this video of the headset, and Martin wearing the HoloLens. So Martin can actually see my avatar. He can see me as an avatar if I was just next to him, basically. So
so this is all being transmitted up to the space station, and you see it in real time?
That's all real time, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So of course not to the real space station, that was shot in a lab, of course. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and it's very low bandwidth, because what you have to understand is that the avatar is animated by the position of the hands and the head. So we're not transmitting video, we're only just transmitting tracking information, basically. So
it can fit over the limited data pipeline that they have up to the station.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic.
So, and it's one thing that's really fun, like it's really crazy when I was presenting this to the space agency, is it's really good for deep space exploration, because you have a lot of lag and very low bandwidth. So what we can do is play this scenario, record it, and we just have it's just a very small data packet of positions of hands and the headset. So
it's going to be NucleusVR on Mars in a few years, right?
Well, I'd love to, yeah, yeah, and probably Tilt 5 also, yeah.
Yeah, or naturally.
Yeah. So yeah, this all started, I was saying, in 2014, where having Tilt 5 really enabled us to see that you could actually collaborate between AR and VR, which is actually an idea that's starting to get mainstream now, but definitely wasn't in those days.
You were a real pioneer back then.
I suppose so, yeah. So, yeah, it's all good fun. And
so what do you think about, I mean, the environment for developing for Tilt 5?
It's yeah, really easy, and basically what we do is we just have what we call the digital twin, which is the scene basically in Unity, and it's just the whole scene that's just ported onto the board, and that's it. So it's actually extremely straightforward.
What I really find interesting about your technology is that you're cross-platform, so it can be a HoloLens, it can be a VR system, it can be a Tilt 5 system, and all the assets that you bring in, these CAD models, can scale up. So if you want to be one-to-one in the space station, put a VR system and you walk through the space station. If you want to have like a God's eye view of everything going on in the space station, it can be on the Tilt 5 system. It can be like laid out in front of you and all of your colleagues sitting around the table. Yeah. So that's pretty unique. You're really ahead of a lot of people as far as this kind of industrial and engineering collaboration.
Yeah, and we started this early, really concentrating also on low power devices. Like we started with mobile VR, because at the time there was not that much around. Like there was DK1, but we didn't have one. So so that was even before the Google Cardboard. So it means we sort of made this rule that it had to be really cross-platform and work even on the most small device, basically. Mm-hmm. So if we were, that was like...
It's just born out of necessity. That's great.
That's it, yeah. And we're thinking VR or AR or whatever will be wearable. So it has to work on that. So yeah, so it actually also works on AR tablets and all sorts of devices. But what we see the real value of Tilt 5 is basically we have design reviews, like the customers in mechanical engineering, you have this big meeting to sort of validate this design or not, and some of the senior managers, they're pretty old and they don't want to wear a VR headset or something like that. So basically we have the board on the table and everybody just can put the glasses and then just look around. So you have like the managers looking, and then the younger engineers in the scene actually showing them how it works.
Yeah, it's nice when you can like see your colleagues and see your hands and you're not removed from the world, and that's one of the big benefits of our system. So weren't your clients like clamoring for this and you couldn't give it to them because it was in prototype, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I almost got into an argument with a client once because I didn't tell him in the beginning it was just a prototype. And he got so annoyed when I said, oh, well, I'm not quite sure when it's going to be ready.
Well, you're in luck. It's coming out real soon.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No. I mean, it's really exciting times. And I mean, I've seen the production parts and it's kind of, yeah, really close. Yeah. It's just a few.
So you tricked us into, well, you didn't trick, you persuaded us into going to an event, even though we were in like deep stealth mode and we really didn't want to show anything.
Yep.
But we've been working with you for so long. It was a great event. So we went there. We tried to fly under the radar. So we set up a Tilt 5 system there with your software running. Ran brilliantly, and we had lines. Like we were the hit of the show. Yeah. Like you know, a Space Tech Expo. It's a lot of like, here's a space certified welding system. Not the most exciting thing. And here you had VR systems, you had AR systems, you had people, pulling pieces of the International Space Station apart. And
yeah, well, I mean, we had lots of people, and it was like really, really nice to have guys like from Lockheed Martin or Northrop Grumman, NASA, all these guys kind of really into this demo, and we made loads of contacts.
So you've got a side project, something that you're pretty excited about. Can you describe that?
Yep. So yeah, this is basically we've been passionate about space for a while, and we'd really like our tool to be able to be used as an outreach system, basically, for making space more popular. Because basically, the way it works is the space agencies get funded by the government. So to get money, then the people have to be enthusiastic about space. So we've actually seen that the agencies are quite fond of anything that can make space popular. What we'd like to do is get a simplified version of our software that anybody could use online, and probably definitely with Tilt 5,
Yes.
the VR stuff on any PC,
Nice.
and like you see a lot of bloggers using Kerbal Space program, that kind of thing. So of course what we do is not the same thing, because we don't do simulation or whatever, but what could be really interesting is that it could be used like this digital twin. You can actually add documents to it, PDF files, presentations, videos, 360 videos, so it's like a really good educational tool.
I mean, well, I'm really passionate about education, and I'm super excited that VR and AR is starting to be adopted in classrooms. Well, fantastic. We're super excited about what you're doing. How can people find you?
We just go to NucleusVR.eu, and we have a few videos on there, and otherwise on Twitter, of course. Yep.
Well, thanks for coming out.
Okay.